the manifestation threshold. There's a moment right before everything changes where reality feels like it's holding its breath. You know something's coming, but you can't explain how. You can't see it, touch it, or prove it, but you feel it. Something in your soul is vibrating at a different frequency. That's not your imagination. That's not wishful thinking. That's the energy of manifestation aligning with your field. And if you're here right now, listening to these words, it's not by accident. It means you're standing on the edge of something extraordinary. You're not just dreaming anymore. You're about to receive. But here's the truth most people miss. Manifestation isn't random. It's a science of energy, a dance of belief, and a test of alignment. And when you're about to manifest something fast, the universe sends signals. These signals are precise, repeatable, and deeply personal. But they all come down to one truth. You are becoming the vibration of what you desire. So let's go deep. Let's decode the 7 signs. And let's make sure you don't miss what's already rushing toward you. The first sign is undeniable once you recognize it. Reality starts to glitch. You'll notice repeating numbers everywhere: 111, 222, 555. You'll hear songs that speak directly to your thoughts. You'll think of someone and they'll call. You'll say something and immediately see it on a billboard. These are not coincidences. These are synchronicities. And synchronicity is the universe's language. It's how it whispers you're aligned. Keep going. When you're about to manifest fast, the matrix of your reality begins to bend. The veil thins, time collapses, and your thoughts begin shaping your environment with terrifying precision. This is where you need to be hyper-conscious of your focus, because your energy is now magnetic and the field is listening. So here's the question. If everything you think right now is amplified into form, are you thinking from fear or from faith? Are you speaking from lack or from abundance? The second sign is emotional, but in a way that often gets misinterpreted. You suddenly feel waves of anxiety, excitement, even sadness for no logical reason. Your emotions become raw, intense, and unpredictable. One moment you're euphoric. The next, you're crying. This isn't emotional instability. It's energetic preparation. Your nervous system is recalibrating to hold more power, more beauty, more expansion. Manifestation at high speed requires internal bandwidth, and that means old emotional debris is being flushed out. Think of it like an energetic detox. Before the new arrives, the old must leave. And sometimes that feels deeply uncomfortable. But instead of resisting it, observe it, welcome it. Ask yourself, what am I releasing to make room for the version of me that already has what I want? What if this discomfort isn't punishment, but sacred preparation for the miracle I asked for? The third sign is paradoxical but consistent. You begin to feel detached from your desire, not because you've given up, but because you've let go. And that's the key. Detachment doesn't mean apathy. It means you trust so deeply that you no longer need to obsess, chase, or prove. You stop asking when. You stop checking. You simply know. The desire is planted. The seed is alive. And your job is to water it with joy, not desperation. When you feel this calm detachment, manifestation accelerates. Why? Because you're no longer vibrating from lack. You're vibrating from already having. And the quantum field always delivers to the frequency of certainty. So ask yourself this: are you still trying to force it to happen, or are you allowing yourself to become the version of you who already embodies it? What would you stop doing if you truly believed it was inevitable? The fourth sign is subtle but powerful. You start attracting tests. You'll be tempted to react in old ways. You'll be triggered by old patterns. You'll be offered something that almost looks like your desire, but not quite. This is not sabotage. This is a final exam. The universe is asking, are you ready to hold what you've asked for? Can you respond from the new version of yourself, even when the old version wants to take over? These tests aren't punishments. They're calibrations. They're opportunities to prove that you've already shifted. And if you pass them by choosing alignment over reaction, truth over ego, faith over fear, you unlock the next level. So the next time life throws you an emotional curveball, ask yourself, is this a test? And what would my highest self do right now if I already had everything I asked for? The fifth sign is magnetic. You start receiving unexpected opportunities, people, or ideas that align perfectly with your vision. You meet someone who connects you to the exact resource you needed. You stumble on a book that answers your deepest question. You get an idea that feels like divine instruction. This is the universe assembling the pieces. The backstage of your reality is working overtime. You're not chasing anymore. You're attracting. And the more you say yes to these nudges, the more momentum you build. This is when you must stay open. Don't overthink. Don't dismiss the small signs. Often, your manifestation doesn't arrive in one dramatic leap. It arrives in micro yeses. So ask yourself right now, are you available for the miracle to come in a form you didn't expect? Are you willing to follow the breadcrumbs without demanding to see the whole map? The sixth sign might surprise you. You feel called to clean, organize, or declutter your space. Suddenly, you want to throw out old clothes, rearrange your room, or clean your car. This isn't random. It's energetic. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner state. And when your soul knows that something big is coming, it starts preparing the environment. You're making space, not just physically, but vibrationally. You're signaling readiness. You're saying, I'm no longer holding on to who I was. I'm preparing for who I'm becoming. This is why cleaning your space is a spiritual practice. It's not just about tidiness. It's about coherence. Because chaos in your environment creates static in your field. And when you declutter, you amplify. So the question is, what are you still holding on to that belongs to the old you? And what if releasing it is the final step before receiving the new reality that's already on its way? The seventh and final sign is sacred. You feel overwhelming gratitude for no reason. You wake up and feel thankful for the sunlight, the air, the silence. You smile at strangers. You laugh at nothing. You feel full, even if nothing has changed externally. Why? Because internally everything has changed. Gratitude is the frequency of receivership. It tells the universe, I already have. I already am. I already feel it. And when you embody that vibration, manifestation becomes inevitable. Because you're no longer reaching for something outside of you, you're becoming a magnet for everything that already exists in the field. So I ask you this final question for today. What if gratitude isn't just a positive emotion, but the most advanced manifestation technology in the universe? And what if the more grateful you are before it arrives, the faster you call it into form? You are not far. You are close. Closer than you realize. Closer than your mind can measure. And if you're feeling these signs, if you've been nodding along, even crying, it's because your manifestation is already here, in the realm of energy. Your job now is to maintain the signal, to hold the frequency, to trust the process, and to act in alignment with the version of you who already has it. Because that's how you collapse time. That's how you make the unseen seen. And that's how you become the kind of person who doesn't just manifest dreams, but lives inside them. the hidden mechanics behind rapid creation and how to collapse time with your frequency. Most people think manifestation is about wanting something hard enough and hoping the universe will eventually deliver. But what if I told you that the universe doesn't respond to your wanting? It responds to your being. This is the core of rapid manifestation. It's not about how badly you want it. It's about how fully you've become the version of yourself that already has it. In quantum terms, every version of you that exists, rich, healed, in love, free, is already real in the field of infinite potential. The only question is, which version are you attuned to right now? The moment you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with that version, you collapse time. You don't have to wait 5 years. You don't have to earn it. You shift into the timeline where it's already true. But here's the catch. You can't fake frequency. You can't say affirmations while vibrating in self-doubt. You can't visualize abundance while acting from fear. The field doesn't listen to your words. It listens to your signal. So ask yourself honestly, what signal are you sending to the universe today through your choices, your energy, your posture, your self-talk? Think of it like this. Manifestation is less like ordering from Amazon and more like tuning into a radio station. The music is already playing. The frequency already exists. But if your dial is off, even by a little, you hear static. You get frustration, delays, confusion. When you tune in, suddenly it's clear. The synchronicities flow. The right people show up. Ideas arrive with force. And your outer world starts to rearrange itself around your new frequency. This is why the most powerful manifestors are not the ones who hustle the hardest. They're the ones who tune the clearest. They create coherence between their inner world and their outer desire. And coherence is what bends reality around you. So the question is, where in your life are you still misaligned with the version of you who already has what you want? And what would shift if you made every micro decision today as if you were already living in that reality? Here's a truth that most spiritual teachers won't say out loud. The universe is not testing you, it's matching you. If you feel blocked, it's not because some force is keeping you from your breakthrough. It's because there's still a part of you that doesn't believe you're ready. And that belief is what the field responds to. The universe mirrors your identity, not your desire. This is why deep shadow work is essential. You have to excavate the unconscious stories that are sabotaging your signal. I'm not worthy. I'm not ready. It's too late. It's too hard. These beliefs are invisible walls, and they delay the arrival of what's already yours. But when you own them, when you face them with compassion and truth, they lose their power. You shift from resistance to receptivity, from fear to frequency. That's when things speed up. So reflect deeply. What outdated identity are you still clinging to that your future self has already outgrown? And are you willing to shed it, even if it means stepping into the unknown? One of the most advanced hacks to accelerate manifestation is embodied rehearsal. It's not enough to think it, you must live it. Today, not someday. If you want to manifest love, become the most loving version of yourself now. If you want to manifest wealth, start treating yourself, your time, and your energy like they're already valuable. If you want to manifest freedom, stop making choices from fear and start making choices from trust. This isn't delusion, it's alignment. Every action you take is a vote for the timeline you're stepping into. And the more consistent your votes, the more solid that timeline becomes. This is how you collapse time. Not through force, but through embodied inevitability. You move like it's already done. You speak like it's already true. You walk like the universe is conspiring in your favor, because it is. So ask yourself, what would you stop doing today if you truly believed your desire was already manifesting? And what would you start doing that aligns with the version of you you're becoming? But none of this works if you're not grounded in devotion. Not to the outcome, but to the process. Manifestation mastery is not about control. It's about co-creation. It's about falling in love with the unfolding, even when it's messy, even when it's slow, even when it looks like nothing's happening. Because here's the secret. The moment you stop needing it to happen fast, it happens faster. Why? Because surrender is a higher frequency than struggle. When you're truly surrendered, you're no longer in resistance. And when you're out of resistance, the quantum field can finally flow through you without obstruction. That's when the timelines collapse. That's when the miracles land. So don't ask, where is it? Ask, how can I align more deeply with it right now? That's the real work. That's the portal. That's how you go beyond wishing and into receiving. Quantum magnetism. How to hold the vibration long enough for reality to reshape around you. The moment you feel your frequency rise, when you're in the zone, lit up, aligned, it feels like pure magic. You feel unstoppable. But the real challenge isn't accessing that vibration. The real mastery lies in holding it. Holding it when things aren't going your way. Holding it when doubt creeps in. Holding it when your outer world shows no signs of change yet. This is where most people unknowingly sabotage their manifestation. They touch the frequency briefly and then slip back into old thoughts, old habits, old identities. But the universe doesn't respond to a momentary high. It responds to sustained coherence. So the question becomes, how long can you maintain the signal of what you seek? How long can you stay in the vibration of your future reality, even when your current reality hasn't caught up yet? Because here's the truth most don't want to hear. Reality doesn't bend to your hope. It bends to your consistency. One of the most powerful ways to sustain your vibration is through ritual. Not in the religious sense, but in the energetic sense. Ritual grounds your frequency. It makes the invisible tangible, whether it's breath work, journaling, movement meditation, or simply speaking affirmations while looking into your own eyes. Rituals are how we program our field. They're how we remind ourselves every single day of who we're choosing to be. Why is this important? Because the world will constantly try to pull you back into the old frequency. Notifications, news, people's opinions, fear-based programming, it all tries to hijack your signal. Ritual is your shield. It's your anchor. And the more sacred you treat it, the more stable your manifestation field becomes. So ask yourself, what ritual can you commit to that tunes your frequency every day? And what would happen if you treated your energetic hygiene as seriously as your physical hygiene? But even with ritual, life will test your vibration. You'll get triggered. You'll feel fear. You'll doubt. That's normal. The key is not to avoid these emotions, but to transmute them. Emotions are energy in motion. They aren't barriers, they're messengers. When you feel fear, ask, what belief is this showing me? When you feel scarcity, ask, what story am I still holding about what I deserve? You don't fight the emotion, you alchemize it. You meet it with presence. You breathe through it. You move your body. You speak truth to it. And as you do, you reclaim your power. This is emotional mastery. This is the work that turns vibration from a fleeting state into a baseline identity. The more you do this, the more your frequency becomes unshakable. Not because you never feel low, but because you know how to return to your center again and again, no matter what. Another overlooked key to holding the vibration is environmental alignment. You cannot grow into your next level if you're constantly surrounded by people, places, and energies that reinforce the old you. Your environment is either reinforcing your vision or eroding it. There is no neutral. So look around. What are you watching? Who are you listening to? What are the dominant conversations in your circle? Are they rooted in possibility, expansion, and truth, or in gossip, fear, and limitation? If your environment doesn't match your future frequency, you have two options: upgrade it or transcend it. That might mean spending more time in solitude. It might mean listening to high-frequency content while you drive, cook, or walk. It might mean limiting access to your energy, because your energy is sacred, and your future depends on protecting it fiercely. So ask yourself, if I were already living my dream life, what would I no longer tolerate in my environment? And what boundaries must I set today to honor that? Let's talk about momentum. Quantum magnetism isn't just about feeling good. It's about moving with the energy. When you feel inspired, act. When you get a nudge, follow it. The universe operates on momentum. When you move, it moves with you. This is why ideas come with energy. They come with a window. If you ignore them, the window closes. But when you act immediately, you create compounding energy. You tell the field, "I'm serious," and the field responds. Every small aligned action is a signal. It says, "I believe, I'm ready, I'm in." So don't wait for perfect conditions. Don't wait until you have it all figured out. Move now. Start small. Say yes. Take the step. That's how you build magnetic momentum. So reflect. What intuitive nudge have you been ignoring out of fear? And what would happen if you stopped waiting and started walking in the direction of your future self today? Another secret to quantum magnetism is identity reinforcement. You don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you believe you are. So if you want to hold the vibration, you must become a different person. Not fake, not performative, but evolved. Your old identity was built to survive your past. Your new identity must be built to hold your future. That means changing how you speak to yourself, how you dress, how you walk into a room, how you make decisions. Every detail matters, because your subconscious is always watching. And your subconscious doesn't respond to logic, it responds to symbolism. So when you embody your next level identity, physically, emotionally, spiritually, you rewire your field. You become the magnet. You stop chasing, you start attracting. So ask yourself, who is the version of me that already has the life I desire? What do they know, believe, and do differently? And am I willing to become that now, not later? And here's the final truth. The ones who manifest the fastest are not always the smartest, wealthiest, or most spiritual. They're the ones who keep their vibration stable long enough for reality to catch up. That's it. That's the game. Most people quit too soon. They plant the seed and dig it up a week later. They say the affirmation but then contradict it with self-doubt. They get close and then sabotage their own momentum. Don't be that person. Be the one who stays in the vibration no matter what, even when nothing's happening, especially when nothing's happening, because that's when the shift is closest. That's when the old is dissolving and the new is forming. And if you can hold the line, if you can trust the unseen, you'll wake up one day and realize it's here. It happened. You did it. You didn't just manifest what you wanted. You became the version of you who could hold it. And that's when life becomes a series of miracles, not because you forced them, but because you matched them.